Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back, and I wanted to go ahead and talk about the Real Housewives of New York City. This episode was really, really good. The best. I mean, it's only been 4 episodes, but um, this is probably the best episode this season. Um, I don't really know. Well, I do know why people are not. I don't know what's going on with the ratings. I'm enjoying the show. I'm going to continue to review the show. But when they post the ratings on Twitter, I don't know if they're calculating. I don't know if they're adding in or considering the views that may appear on Peacock. Um, but I think they're like in the 400,000. But I also know that a lot of people, I based based off of the reception, um, when it was announced that they had a new cast and they were basically starting over from scratch. A lot of people that actually watched New York, Real Housewives of New York, they really were upset. I remember seeing that online. So I don't know if people are boycotting the show. That could be it. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and act like, it was a season when I did not watch Real Housewives of Atlanta when Kenya wasn't on. Um, I still watch the clips online and watch people reviews, but I didn't really tune into the show on TV. So, when you lose your fave, when you lose something that you like, you know, we tend to get upset. Um, but I am shocked that the views are as low as that what I've been seeing because it's a good show. It's a good cast. I think it's solid. I really, really do. I think that people should give them a chance. Um, because so far so good. Yeah. Shout out to Real Housewives of New York City season 14. I'm here for it. All right, y'all. So let's just talk about the episode. Um, I thought it was kind of fly when Jenna came downstairs to breakfast and Bryn said that's like $500,000 worth of jewelry right here on this counter. And Jenna said, I know. I said, okay, Miss Jenna. Um, Aaron. I don't know. What's it called? Shuka Shuka, something like that. That Aaron made. I'm not gonna lie, girl. The food looked amazing, girl. And when I was looking at people plates, girl, the white girls be eating. Okay, because Jenna plate was clean, Aaron plate was clean. Um, I know Brian is biracial. We're gonna talk about that in a little bit. Okay, I'm assuming Cy is probably biracial. Um, but anyways, they ate. The food looked amazing. It just didn't look like something that was meant for breakfast. For me, I don't like to eat a I don't like to wake up and eat something that's considered heavy, if that makes sense. Like give me some eggs, like what they say is typical, I guess, breakfast foods. Eggs, toast, bacon, grits, pancakes, biscuits, French toast. You know what I'm saying? That looked like to me, it looked like they were eating dinner. But Aaron said the girls have been complaining. I mean, Aaron, we're gonna have to call a thing, girl. You cooking breakfast after everybody wake up. I don't know if they waited an hour or not, but Sai said, girl, it had been an hour since she woke up. She still hadn't ate. Girl, you ain't got no heat. Girl, just get on. Girl, you ain't got no heat. Girl. And then when the girls got there, girl, all you had was caviar and Pringles. So, girl, while I get that it could be a lot to host, I think that you have to be prepared if you decide to be a host. That girl, I need to have everything in order, right? I need to make sure that my heater is working in this $1 million house. I need to make sure that when the girls walk through the door, girl, I got more than some caviar and a pack of Pringles laying on the table. I need to make sure that girl, I have a chef here in the morning that can cook breakfast, so I can tell the girls, look, breakfast will be served at 9 a.m. or 10 a.m., right? And so when they walk downstairs, honey, it's already, you know, but I'm sure Aaron will get it together by next season. Um, Uba has a sauce called Uba Hot. She says that I guess when she first started modeling, she ate a lot of steamed food. I guess basically her way of saying I ate a lot of food that didn't have no type of girl seasoning or taste. So I had to kind of like get creative, and so she came up with her own Uba Hot. Um, she said it was Oprah listed it as one of her favorite things. You know when Oprah puts that stamp on something, honey. Hello. Um, Brienne shows a picture of one of her ex, Gideon. Gideon looked real cute. But even before Aaron said, "Girl, Gideon is cute," I said, "Ooh, girl, Gideon is cute." If she don't want him, I slam dunk him tonight. Shout out to Robin. Um. Anyways, so Brienne has no relationship with her family. Her grandmother raised her. Shout out to all, you know what? I want to give a shout out to all the grandparents out there. Because one thing about it, two things for sure. When you have a child who's not taking care of their responsibilities, girl, the grandmamas, grandparents, they always step up to the plate and raise children that they, I was gonna say the wrong thing. They step up to the plate and take care of your responsibilities, okay? Um, anyway, she basically Brienne has been through a lot. You know what I'm saying? Um, I'm not gonna sit here and act like girl Brienne's story is something unique. I mean, we've heard the stories before. I mean, girl, quiet as it's kept. Her story don't sound. I mean, it sounds a little bit different. I'm not gonna lie, but it ain't no different than Kenya. Kenya mama will sit there right across from her 15 feet and act like that bitch don't even exist. Hello, hello. Um, but I think it's nice just to see a new group of women tell their stories. But again, it wasn't a story. I don't think it was a story that we haven't heard before. I do think that with Brienne, um, she covers up her hurt and her childhood trauma with being the you know positive and happy and over the top life of the party girl, right? I think deep down, Brienne is probably really, really hurting, and hopefully, we all need some therapy. If she's not in therapy, hopefully she gets into therapy to do some healing, um, because it's clear that I just always kind of feel like, especially when you can't really speak about something, that means that it's still there. Like Brienne can't really speak about her childhood because it's still there, right? Um, but her grandmother raised her, and her grandmother is white. Brienne's mother is white, of course. Well, not of course, but her grandmother is white. Her biological mother is white, and her father is black. Now, girl, let me just be messy for 5 seconds. Well, for about 2 minutes. Um, I remember when the cast was first revealed. I saw people online saying, "Oh, they have 3 black um, cast members," and I was like, "Well, girl, where they at? Where they at? Um, where they at? Where they at?" Shout out to Destiny's Child. Um, but it wasn't until this season started, I was looking at Brent. I was like, "Hold up." I was like, "Hold up." I was, girl, girl. This is gonna sound ignorant, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it anyways, girl. I know all white people don't have the same textured hair. There was a white girl that I went to school with who had the same hair, the texture of hair that Brienne has. She was a full white girl, right? But girl, when I was looking at Brienne, I was like, hold up. I was looking at Brienne, I was like, oh, Brienne got some nigga in her. Cause I said Brienne daddy probably black. So when she said she was biracial, I think that a lot, well, I ain't gonna say a lot of us. I think some people were probably surprised, but I had already had a conversation with my biological sister girl, the very first episode, like, girl, she black. Girl, she black. She got a black daddy. Oh, okay, girl. You can. Okay. I see that now. Okay. Um, but yeah, she was raised by her grandmother. Um, she has no relationship with her family, which is really, really sad. And Brienne, and I think what makes it sad is that Brienne wants a community to belong to. She wants a family. And I think that's what makes it sad. Because if Brienne was like, girl, I don't give a fuck about them. I got my friends, girl, I'm good. But I don't think Brienne is like that. I think Brienne wants that connection with family, which is why she said that she's been engaged 3 times and she still keeps in touch or she's close to her ex and her ex's family. So, um, Aaron. Aaron seems cool. You know, when the girls get on the show, all their business start coming out. I'm not gonna go into what I saw on Twitter because it really don't matter. But you know, Aaron seems cool. I'm gonna say that much. Aaron, I like the way that Aaron, when she was at work, she didn't come across. She just didn't come across as a bitch. Sometimes I don't mind. Like sometimes I don't mind someone who's a bitch. Um, but she didn't come across as one. She came across as someone who gets in, like she does the work. Like she's just not standing around giving directions. She basically said she got into real estate. She ran her family's resume down. Um, she also said that she later decided that she loved doing design and construction, I guess more than like the real estate. So I guess that's where her real passion is in. But yeah, Erin, she seems cool. You know, I like how she was interacting with the people who she worked with. She comes across as someone who's really cool and probably nice. Um, you know, can probably be an asshole when she needs to be. Um, Brienne and Nadia, hold up. Oh, so Brienne goes to her beautician. I want to give a shout out to Brienne for accepting that you need somebody black in your head. Again, this may sound a little ignorant, and I'm okay with that. Remember when I would see Garcelle on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, those who watch my Real Housewives of Beverly Hills review, and I used to see that Hispanic guy, and I used to be like, why is this Hispanic guy, girl, in this woman's head? Girl, if you don't go get some black woman or some black gay man, girl, or straight, girl, to get in your head. Because I just feel like especially when it comes to like a black woman's hair, girl, you really need somebody who understands your hair, right? Whatever, whatever scale you on when it comes to the texture, I just feel like, girl, it needs to be somebody black. So even though I believe that Brienne probably identifies as white, or she may identify as biracial. I know at one point she said she used to be embarrassed to say she was half nigger. I like the fact that Brienne is being honest, even if it's uncomfortable, even if some people get upset what Brienne is saying. That's her truth. Um, but I like the fact that even though Brienne probably identifies as white, I don't know if she does or if she doesn't. Girl, she got enough sense to go to a black beautician because this hair need to be touched by you. I know her grandmother introduced her to a black beautician, but I'm glad that she still has enough sense to go to a black woman. Okay. So anyway, she says that when she was younger, her grandmother, of course, I mean, girl, we're just gonna call her think of things. She's a white lady. That white lady don't know nothing about no nigga house. Okay. So she said her grandmother really didn't know about how to do her hair. I bet you that girl, her hair was probably just as big and full and thick, just like Si's daughter. Because Si's daughter has, baby, when I tell you Si's daughter got a head full of hair, baby, and I love the fact that Miss Thing just walk around, girl, just her just swinging in the wind. That's how I know that's right, Miss Si's daughter. Um, but I bet you that's probably how um, Brienne's hair looked. And then the grandmother really didn't know what to do with it. So she said this black lady that her grandmother used to work with, I think she said she owned a beauty shop. She told her girl, bring that baby down to the beauty shop. Um, and so that's where she basically found a sense of community with the black women at the beauty shop. I said that's a beautiful thing. I wish that we could say the same thing for the barber shop, but we can't. But she said she found a sense of community, and she found out that black women are, funny and, um, just great people, and just fun to be around. Um, and she said she went there every week for 10 years. And so shout out to the lady for basically telling the grandmama, baby, I know you don't know how to do that baby's hair. Bring on down, because we got some people who can get your children, who can get your grandkids together. Okay. Um, Uber, I was confused about Uber in the meeting with her business partner. I'm assuming that Uber wants an investor, but doesn't want to deal with, I guess, someone potentially telling her how to run her business. And then I guess she also talked about her mother. If her mother was there, the advice her mother would give her. So I'm assuming that's what but she met up with her business partner. A business partner, I think business partner, and she considered her a friend. Um, Psy. Psy has a friend's. Psy wants to have a friend's giving for Bree. I keep calling her Bree. Brian. Um, Girl, I don't have no house. I know the homes, the apartments in New York City are expensive. Okay. But girl, this is no tea, no shade. Cause again, I don't have no house. But Miss Psy, if you gonna be on the show, with the rich girls or the girls who supposed to be rich, I'm gonna need your cabinets not to look like they've been chipping away. When I tell you it looked like size by it looked like the bottom of size cabinet looked like some fingernails. You know, like when your fingernail polish start chipping off, girl. Well, am I tripping? Did y'all see some chip? Did y'all see them? Did y'all see the cabinetry? I said, "Ooh, Miss Side, but you running around here, girl, you running around here going to the Hamptons with girl 5011 bags, girl, all the clothes. I ain't see you turn out one look, but girl, your cabinet's looking like that, girl, and you on a show about the rich girls. All right, Side, all right. Um, but they had a conversation with they. She was on the phone with what's her name, with Brian, and they were talking about Jessel, because again she invited Brian to Friendsgiving. Um, and I feel like the advice that David gave was spot on. He basically told them, "Girl, y'all need to like basically, take it easy on her, cool it." This is the thing, because we're gonna get into Jessel and her husband in a little bit. There are two sides of the coin. Okay, one side is Jessel shared something that can be embarrassing. She's on a reality TV show. I love the fact that Jessel is being transparent, right? But she shared something that um, can be embarrassing, and I think that I was getting bothered by the girls, like, just go home and fuck your man, just go home and have sex, just do this. Girl, clearly there's a disconnect somewhere, because if if you're in a relationship and you haven't had sex in 2 years, it's not like Jessel and her husband are 80 years old. Jessel, what, maybe in her 30s, what, late 20s? I'm assuming 30s. Boyfriend, husband in his 30s too. Like, girl, that's relatively young to me. You know what I'm saying? To go that long. Now, if you would have told me Jessel and her husband had went probably 2 months, 3 months, I really could make sense of that. Okay, girl, you busy, he busy. Y'all got these hollering ass kids. Them kids like they have a lot of energy, right? So I can see that, right? But I do think they should just take it a little easy on Jessel, instead of just go home and just bang your man. Because if it was that easy and that simple, girl, they would have been having sex a long time ago. You know. Um, Now let's get into the other side of the coin. Okay. Now this is gonna be the messy side of the coin. Jessel and Pavit, is that his name? I can't pronounce his name. Girl, I understood both sides of the argument. The husband wants the kids to go to a public school. Cause he like, girl, they ain't gonna be doing shit but sleeping all day. Okay. But, and I think there are some great public schools out there. But I also understand Jessel's argument. You hear these stories all the time about these rich people starting early with getting their kids on the road to a successful education, right? And I think in Jessel's mind, her thing is we need to start out young, even if they are two. We need to start now so we can start creating these relationships, right? So even if it's us building these relationships with these parents and us taking our kids on play dates with these parents, I mean, with these other parents and their kids, we're building those relationships so then they'll have these relationships, and then once we get to a point where they're in middle school, high school, girl, we already locked in. So I get where Jessel's mind is at. She's looking at like she's looking at it like, girl, she planning for the future for her kids. But the husband is like, girl, we could just send them to public school. They'll be all right. Girl, they ain't gonna be doing girl, they too. Ain't they too? They ain't that old. But I know some kids can start school at 3. Um, so, um, I'm getting ahead of myself. Um, Jenna tells Aaron that Jessel referred to them as cackling hags. Girl, when Jenna told Jessel that, I mean, when Jenna told Aaron that, and she was giggling while she told her, once I was hollering. Now, Jenna, let me tell you something, girl. Shout out to Jenna. Jenna is my girl, but Jenna, girl, shut up. Girl, we keep it real. We gonna keep it all the way honest on my channel. Jenna, girl, here she go. I'm jumping ahead. So at the Friendsgiving, Aaron was telling Brian and Uba what Jessel had said. Jenna talking about, I don't think she meant it the way that y'all are taking it. Yes, the fuck she did. Let me tell you something, girl. You can't call nobody no cackling hag, okay? And then tell them she didn't mean it the way that y'all taking it. Girl, I'm taking it how she said it, okay? It ain't nothing positive or cute about being called a cackling hag, okay? So you don't know, girl, what it was. You got nervous because, girl, you stirred the pot, which is fine because we know that's what happens on these shows. You stirred the pot, and now, girl, you were going to be caught into some mess because if Aaron decides to address Jessel, your name will be brought up. Okay? And that's just what it comes down to. And then you're going to have to explain to Jessel why you went back and told something that she said, even though we know that's the name of the game, right? Um, So she's telling back to Jessel and her husband. She's telling her husband about the girls, and she basically her husband is telling her that her tone is not the best, and Jessel feels as though you're supposed to support me. No, 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 Jessel. Your husband is supposed to be honest with you, especially in private. Now I can see if you were having this conversation amongst people who were considered to be your enemy, and your husband kind of was like, yeah, yeah, here's your tone, then I can see how you might feel some way about that, right? If you couldn't stand Aaron and Aaron, were having a conversation and he agreed with Aaron and the other group of women who probably said you had an issue with who have an issue with your tone, then I can see how Jessica would be like, nigga, what is you doing? But girl, in the privacy of your home, when you're having a conversation, your husband is supposed to be honest with you, like he was. Girl, your tone is a little bit off. The way your delivery could use some tweaking. Okay, Girl, when she said, "Are you calling me a bitch?" and he said, "I would never call you that. Potential tendencies in your tone." Girl, I said, "Come on, potential tendencies in your tone." Girl, better known as bitch. Hey, yes. Well, I tell you, I was hollering when he told her that. I'm not calling you no bitch. I'm just saying that, girl, there's potential tendencies in your tone. That bitch, you need to work on. Ow! Anyways, she tells her husband, because I can't say his name, about them talking about their sex life. Um, Let me say something. I think that Jessel and her husband will be divorced in about 2 years. I think that Jessel is probably clocked out of that marriage. I think that Jessel probably looks at this man as the friend that he was before they decided to cross that line and become intimate and go into a marriage. Um, I don't know if he out here cheating or not. I don't know if she out here cheating or not. Okay, because we don't know. Because as far as we know, girl, Jessel could be getting her engine checked by somebody else. But you know, I'm not gonna sit here and act like it's weird that they haven't had sex in 2 years. Because 2 years is a long time. That's a long time. I know Jessel has probably body image issues and all that good stuff. Um, but girl, even if Jessel told me, girl, I don't take my shirt off when we have sex, I would be like, oh, okay, she probably doesn't feel sexy, but they still having sex. She just keep her shirt. Because I've heard stories of women not feeling their best, so they keep their bra on because they don't like their boobs, or they may put a wife beater on, or a spaghetti strap top, and not show their top, right? But girl, they ain't had sex in 2 years. That's a long time. But her husband act like he don't care. He don't care because he getting some pussy somewhere else. Is that what it is? Or is he okay with girl just getting head from time to time? Because Jessel says she still give him head. They just not penetrating. Well, he penetrating. He ain't penetrating. He penetrating up here. He just not penetrating down there. Okay. Um. So I don't know what they're gonna do. Um. Yeah, I don't know, but I could see Jessel being clocked out of that marriage and just looking at him as a friend, and that's it. Girl, y'all too young not to be having sex for 2 years. Um. Brienne, Friendsgiving was cute. Brienne arrives. Girl, she sees the chef. She moves those bangs out the way. She get the flirting, honey. She starts showing that. Almost she didn't show her back to him because by the time she was ready to show her back, she had already found out he was married. So she had clocked out of that. Oh, girl, he married. Aaron kept her shoes on. Sai almost had a fit. This is the thing. I personally, if I threw a party, I probably wouldn't care if people walked in with their shoes on. However, I would not care if someone told me to take my shoes off too, especially if they already gave me a heads up. You know what I'm saying? Now, it's one thing about walking to your house. Because some shoes, girl, let me tell you something, girl. Some shoes, it'd be hard to take off. Girl, I got a pair of shoes, honey. Girl, it always be my left foot. I got a pair of boots. My left foot, it'd be so hard for me to put my foot inside of the shoe. I don't know what it is about this left foot. I don't. I don't know what it is about that left shoe and my left foot. I don't know. But girl, once I get my foot in them boots, girl, they stand on until I get back home. So girl, if I walk into your house and I had on those boots and I didn't know you wanted me to take my shoes off, girl, I would feel some type of way. Girl, don't put these shoes on. Girl, you told me I could have worn some flats. Girl, I should have worn some sandals. If I knew I was gonna be sliding in and out of these shoes. But I get it that some people don't like for you to walk in their house, girl. And then on top of that, girl, no tea, no shade. Inside the fence, girl, New York is nasty. Okay? So girl, you probably talk girl, don't tell them what you stepping on out there in them New York streets, honey. Streets are nasty everywhere, but New York is a whole nother set of nasty. Girl, shout out to all the New Yorkers out there. But yeah, I wasn't mad at Si. because once she already told you, even if she didn't tell you, it's kind of like, okay, girl, just take your shoes off. Um, but I think Aaron did that to start some shit because Aaron, you knew damn well you got that message. Girl, just take your shoes off. Everybody else knew what it was about, right? Girl, let me just take my shoes off. It's not that big of a deal. She already told y'all, but Aaron wanted to start a fight. Um, but anyways, um, Aaron's grandmother passed away. She was 94. Um, so I think the way Aaron said it, I took it as though Aaron was saying it's sad, but she was 94. However, it happened so fast. Like within 24 hours, she was basically dead. So I guess she got sick. They took her to hospice, and then she was dead. So it happened very, very fast. Um, so I don't know if they really had a chance. I don't know. I don't know if they really had a chance to prepare the best way they could for the death of their grandmother, of her grandmother. Um, Jessel, I don't know. I could see what the problem is with Jessel. I don't. I think Jessel is good TV though. Jessel told that lady, um, what did she tell her? She was talking. She was telling them about her grandmother. I think they had just had the memorial that day. I think they had the memorial that day, right? And so I guess they did the memorial earlier that day. Then Aaron had to go to work. Okay, so Aaron had to go shoot the show, but she didn't want to like really talk about it because she didn't want to just bring down the mood. Which I was like, I understood that. Justin told her, I hope that today went well though. I, this is the thing. You can never say the right thing when you hear about someone having a death in their family. But I think that we have come to, as like a society, maybe it's just me, we kind of say the same generic stuff, right? I'll keep you and your family. I'll keep you and your family in my prayers. I'll keep you and your family in my thoughts. Um, if you're feeling sad today, just know that eventually it'll get better. Even if some people say stuff, well, your grandmother is in a better place now. You have all types of things that you can say that are pretty much the same generic lines that we use all the time when somebody dies. So I was like, girl, for just a really, I was like that is kind of weird. Like, well, I hope today went well for you, though. What? Jessica could have just said, I'm going to keep you and your family in my thoughts. Something. I was like, okay, Jessica. And then she went upstairs to go to the restroom. Girl. And then Brienne and her family. Listen. Correct me if I'm wrong. Did Brienne say her mother had them when she was a teenager? Did Brienne say her mother had 3 kids when she was a teenager? And her father was much older? Or her father was older? Like, you mean like your mama was like 18 and your daddy was like 21 or 20? Your mama was 19, still considered a teenager, and your daddy was 20, 21. Like, you gonna have to do, girl. I know Brienne don't want to talk about this. So shout out to Brienne for being as open and as honest as she possibly could. Um, but girl, I don't know. I need some answers. This is a good show. This is a good show. Um, Brienne hasn't healed. I think her father was a mess. I think her mother was a mess. Her father was a bigger mess, basically. Um, and she talked about when she was 6 months old, how I guess she was, well, somebody had to tell her because she definitely don't remember no shit at no 6 months old. But someone told her that um, like they had found her. I think she was alone. I think the parents had left her alone for like 6 days. Oh, girl. Um, Again, I think from what it sounded like to me, I think this happened. That what she said happened when she was 6 months. Someone clearly had to tell her that because nobody remembers nothing when they're 6 months old. At least I don't think they do. So Brienne has been through some stuff, and then it was a to be continued. So we'll get more of the Brienne story in the next episode. She really didn't want to talk about it. She didn't want to talk about it with the group. She didn't want to talk about it in the confessional because I'm sure there's a lot of hurt. And for someone like Brienne, who comes across as someone who's always upbeat and positive in the life of the party, I don't think that people like that want to go to a space where they're probably not equipped to handle what's about to be discussed. So I know I can't handle this. I would rather just be fun, not talk about it. Girl, she one of those people who pretty much probably has erased a lot of her past. I can see all those things happening with Brienne. But Brienne is cool. Brienne is funny. I laugh at Brienne every episode. Girl, when she was walking, when all the girls were walking in and she was showing everybody her back, when I tell I was hollering, girl, Brienne was gonna let the girls know I got this back out. Girl, look at this back. Girl, look at this dress. Girl, my whole back is out. Girl, that's how I was hollering. Anyways, that's pretty much it. This review was really, really long. All right, y'all. I'm gone. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye, y'all.